Brothers are about to reunite already? Before we get to today's video, I want to take a moment to talk about Patreon. That's right, we are on Patreon now, and we have a bunch of tiers with a bunch of great rewards. You can subscribe and get things like early access to all reactions, depending on your tier, depends on which reactions you get early access to. You can vote on polls exclusive to patrons that will help determine future reaction series and more. You will get to just have various choices in terms of like getting to choose future reactions I react to, getting to choose first impressions I check out, all kinds of different rewards, and possibly more coming in the future. We're still new at this. We're still figuring things out. It's a process. It's a process. But we have multiple tiers, so whatever you would be able to donate, if you're able and willing to donate, is appreciated. It helps me out, it helps the channel out, it helps us grow. It's going to help just, standardly. It's just something new to check out. Plus, if you like getting the reactions early, that's also a plus. But it is optional. If you're unable to do it, that's completely fine. All reactions will come to YouTube just a little bit later, a week later or so. So, that all being said, thank you as always so much, and let's get on with today's video. And with that being said, hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with Season 2, Episode 3 of Devil May Cry. And last episode was kind of like this interestingly set up episode where it was mainly being told through memory, or not memories, but yeah, kind of memories. And just flashbacks as Dante and Mary and them would be telling all of this to the psychiatrist. And we got to see Dante being unfrozen, everything that entails, him learning about Virgil, and just all the shit going on regarding that. We got to see him kind of, outside of just getting caught up to date, we got to see him getting prepared as well, including getting Ebony and Ivory, the two handguns. And we got to meet multiple characters voiced by Tara Strong, which fascinating choice there. But yeah, I think I can't speak. I do think that this was an interesting setup while getting Dante back into the swing of things and having him reconnect with Mary and everything. We got to see Virgil go on a talk show, and that was interesting and awkward. So yeah, it was a fun episode, and I'm excited to see where this continues to go, because we're still doing a lot of setup for what's to come with Mundus and the government and Arius. Arius definitely was trying to stop what Virgil was saying on the broadcast. And it seemed like he was trying to stop him from specifically telling people that the White Rabbit was human. Which implies to me that that Arius's entire goal here, which makes sense, is to demonize, the demons, the Machaians, in the eyes of people. And that if these people found out that, the biggest threat that they've come across at this point has been a human rather than a Machaian, that would kind of turn the entire narrative on its head. Unfortunately, in real life, things aren't always this simple, and people can be shown evidence of shit like this and still not give a shit. They can be shown mountains and mountains of evidence of a certain side or certain people being evil, or the people they're told are evil are not, and there's so much evidence to break down that myth. But they just don't care because they're too stubborn to actually change their views based on evidence given to them. It's terrible. It's atrocious, and this world is so fucked for it. But yeah, this is fantasy. This is a cartoon. People can be maybe a little more reasonable when presented with facts in this world. Which is really sad to say. Really depressing to say that. But I'm just curious. I'm just curious to see like exactly what Arias's plans are with Ouroboros and everything. And exactly how far everything goes. Plus, like, how long until Virgil is able to be convinced of things? Because obviously he's going to be able to be convinced of things to some degree. I'm very curious to see where all of this goes. Obviously no spoilers because I am blind going into this. I have not played any of the games as a reminder, so I am just very curious to see where this goes. And yeah, we'll hopefully enjoy it. So that being said, let's get into episode 3 and see what we have in store. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. Welcome to the Afterthoughts. We'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So we get to see like what really happened with Virgil back then on how he was taken and everything, and kind of his mindset going into things, how Mundus clearly manipulated him. The stuff with Argosax is becoming more clear, although it's kind of unclear right now exactly how Arias fits into that. He may be Argosax, but I also feel like, based on what Dante said, taking, the Ouroboros symbol for himself, he may not, like, literally be him, but more of, like, a follower, a human follower somehow. We just don't have all the details yet. Mary, Lady is obviously, like, kind of being more and more done with this entire situation. And so I think it's pretty clear that she is going to quit, like, for good. But, the big appeal of this episode was obviously Dante versus Virgil. I'm still really surprised it happened this early. And that implies to me that there's going to be maybe another fight between them later on. And I think that Virgil is going to like end up seeing the truth of things and actually work with Dante and Lady. It's going to be interesting to see how that comes about. Like I said before, I'm blind to this. I don't know anything about the games. Well, pretty much anything about the games. I've never played them. I've never seen them played. So I don't have any of the context going into this. I just know, like, the only things I've known about this franchise going into this series was, like, just little bits and pieces here and there randomly. But in terms of, like, major story stuff, it's like, no, I'm blind as hell. And I'm very curious to see, like, how this entire thing is going to go. I don't know if if this series overall like correlates to the games in any way. Like, I don't know if like season 1 was like the first game and season 2 is the second game or stuff like that. I don't know if it's like a kind of like adaptation in that sort of sense, or if it's doing different things just completely and just kind of like going over the basic ideas and story beats, but not like being like a direct translation. I don't know. I mean, obviously things are going to be different, but you know what I mean. Um, I'm I'm very curious to see like what else we're going to have to deal with, because obviously Arius and Virgil are now fighting. This was a trap, because they obviously need Virgil for their plans. I'm just wondering, like, what's going to happen next. Like, is this fight going to even be concluded, or does Arius have a plan to apprehend Virgil through this? And if Virgil does get apprehended and taken as a prisoner, what's going to happen then? For a number of reasons. I feel like there's a lot of possibility here, and I just don't have enough context yet to really properly understand where it's going. People who are more familiar with the franchise, the games, probably could obviously like tell you based on their experience, or at least give more of a idea. But like I said, I don't know, and I'm very new to this. Um, but yeah, through the backstory, it's like we see that it seems like Dante had more of his father's like powers, more of his father's blood maybe within him, while Virgil was more the human side. Even though it's like even though like Lady was saying like you're equally human and everything, I don't think that's the case. I think it's the point that that's why Virgil was always weaker, always like was never able to like do everything that Dante could. So, yeah, that kind of led into his kind of inferiority complex that was easy to be manipulated by Mundus. I, I'm I think it's very interesting though how he like derides Dante for never checking his sources on what he's been told, when it's like you could literally say the same thing about Virgil. Like he just is told one thing by Mundus and just accepts it and goes with it for the rest of his life. It's like you're really no different, my dude. You really haven't done anything different here. You're kind of being super hypocritical. But yeah. Oh, excuse me. Sorry for the yawning. Um I feel like that's just how a lot of manipulation works though. But he is right about some things. Like how like humans do this same kind of shit, and it's like, yeah, absolutely. Humans fucking suck. No one's arguing that. So I just I mean, I feel like they have to have like villains in these kind of shows, or antagonists at least, have to have some kind of kernels of truth to what they're saying, because that's what makes it work. That's what makes these ideologies like realistic. People aren't going to fall for them, aren't going to listen to them unless there is some kernel of truth. And to be fair, we know the kind of shit that Darkcom and the government are doing now. And so, yeah, it's just, it's wild how all of this is going down. I'm wondering, like, if Arius isn't Argisax, I'm wondering where his powers come from, where he got the dope ass Soul Calibur esque sword. It definitely looks like Soul Edge from the Soul Calibur games. Um, I'm very curious about all of that shit. But I guess we'll find out as we continue along. We're not even technically halfway through the season yet, so. This was another really good episode. I very much enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below. If there's anything I forgot to talk about or forgot to mention and you want to know my thoughts on it, please feel free to ask. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.